Hey everybody, welcome on back. It's the You Got to Try This podcast. It's with me, Large. I'm in Chicago this week, so Mackenzie was nice enough to come in and work the ones and twos. Ian will do his editing magic, and myself and my guests won't look like total fucking morons. My guest this week is none other than T-Bob Hebert. T-Bob Hebert, right? Am I saying
Yeah,
that?
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Right on it, right?
I know. I feel bad because I know it's an odd name if you're not from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or I guess Quebec.
Yeah.
And I can always sense the trepidation as people are about to go for it, but you nailed it.
You know what it is? Who is the quarterback who was in it? Herbert.
Hebert. Oh, wait, the current quarterback or the old one?
The current. The current guy.
So Justin Herbert.
He's got the extra R.
He's got the extra R, which is, and my old man's very passionate about this, explain all, but that is the Anglicanized version, or anglicized. It's the anglicized. Thank you. Anglicized version of our last name. Okay. At one point, we were all Heberts, and the ones who ended up settling in, I guess, the UK, England, whatever, they ended up as Herbert, and the French ones stayed Hebert.
I think my mom was an O'Reilly till she came to the United States, and it became Riley. I have to ask about that.
Sure,
I think I'd know that. Oh, my wife is actually in the wings, so she'll be the voice of God if I need to be kept in check. And like I had said, T-Bob is the guy who's going to be here with us for the whole fucking episode.
Let's go.
And this episode is brought to you proudly by Pepsi. So I had mentioned this on the last podcast. I had casually said in a food review that Pepsi makes food taste better. I drink everything. If it's sweet and has bubbles, I drink everything. But it's just something about Pepsi after I have a meal. I kind of prefer to drink it with food. So I'd mention it in things. So since they already did stuff with Donnie, they reached out and now Pepsi sponsored. You know what I mean? Like you got to watch what you say because it can wind up being a lovely relationship. So food deserves Pepsi. I say that all the time. Pepsi makes your food taste better. It enhances the flavor of your food as far as I'm concerned. And it makes these flavors pop. So run out and grab yourself a Pepsi today. I got the Pepsi Zero Sugar right here. They just released a bunch of other ones. One that has like some gut health thing going on. Probiotics? Yeah, the whole deal.
I'm a big probiotic proponent.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah,
So I got to get on board with that. And
I'm actually surprised because I feel like it's the aging that's kind of caused my stomach to go awry at times. Also just eating like a fat piece for probably too many years. But yeah, ever since I got on the probiotic train, it's pretty fucking life-changing.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that too. And when he said it's the aging thing, he looked me dead in the eyes because I'm obviously the oldest person in this fucking building. Everything that can go wrong. How old are you right now?
36.
Everything that can go wrong with you between the age of 36 and my age of 53, I've had happen. So as soon as you have to go for your colonoscopy, or
I had a colonoscopy.
You get a little bit of gout, you get everything that goes along, patellar tendonitis, cataract, everything that you can have, I have. I'm your guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have gout?
No, I do not have gout. I've never had gout. I got a colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy, I'm sorry. Oof.
Well, no, I actually got vowed to have it probably like 5 years ago now. I was just really fat at the time. And I think I convinced myself that I had something going on. Yeah. And the doctor was like, no, it's in your head, but you're too fat and you need to lose weight. She's like, okay, that's cool. So I don't think I have to get another one until I'm 40 now. Maybe. Okay. Not a bad experience. I went under.
Propofol's good.
Have you been now? You say you've gone through it all, but have you been fixed?
No, I didn't get. So when Annie had our third child, while she was open, I threw a stapler in there.
Yeah,
just said,
so that is the more old school approach.
Yeah,
the more old school approach.
So I'm sorry about that, sweetheart. I'm still live rounds. But I've did the kidney stones, want to block my kidney, so they had to go in and get it.
I hope never.
And then as I'm on the thing being wheeled in, I had said to the young lady who was the anesthesiologist, I said, some people say that having a kidney stone is more painful than childbirth. My wife disagrees. What do you think? She's like, how many kids does your wife have? I'm like, 3. She's like, so she went back to have another one after she had the first. I was like, yeah. She's like, you ever want to come back for another kidney stone? I'm like, you're absolutely fucking right. Kidney stones win.
She betrayed her own people.
She betrayed everybody.
Offer you a trump card that you could forever then trot out
an absolute
to justify
stranger.
Your toughness.
Yeah. So we pre-tape these as much as we can, right? Just to have some in the bank. So sometimes when we say something that's topical news of the day, it will seem a little bit dated, but otherwise food content's evergreen, right? Because the taste of a sandwich isn't going to change no matter where you have it. But this morning, everyone woke up to the news that Hulk Hogan was dead. And then a couple of minutes later, we woke up again to the news that Hulk Hogan was not dead, that it was a hoax. Then a half hour after that, it was confirmed that Hulk Hogan's dead. It's so weird. Nobody can just die anymore.
I actually missed this.
The hoax?
I missed the arc. We were doing mostly when it broke, and it was we always knew the story as being confirmed.
Okay.
So I missed the rope-a-dope.
I was on an emotional roller coaster for the whole thing. So every time we do, you got to try this, I try to throw a little bit of history in. So I'm going to throw in what I told you before.
I'm a massive fan of history.
Yeah. So we did the twisted history of falls from grace. Just like pointing out people who had like real peaks and valleys. Top of the world, Napoleon to all of a sudden dying in exile, that type of thing. And George Foreman had a real fall from grace after the fight with Ali, to the point where he fought 5 guys consecutively in one night in some small arena in Canada. Ali showed up and was on the apron making fun of him, and the whole crowd was, it was a real low point. But then along comes the George Foreman grill, and he puts his name on it. They sell over 100 million of those things almost immediately. And then George Foreman made $300 million off of that endorsement deal, which is more than he ever made in the ring. And we know George Foreman, he fought fucking Ali, right? So you hear about $300 million, you think you would make that up. The grill paid him more than the ring ever did. And if you buy the grill, or at one point, if you bought the grill in China, it wasn't the George Foreman grill. It was the George Foreman and Jackie Chan grill. They fucking did it together.
Makes sense.
So there's ones in China where the box is Jackie Chan and George Foreman. Cool as shit. But the reason I bring it up today is because the original person that grill was offered to was Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan turned it down. And this was at a point, like we talk about peaks and valleys, this was at a point where Hulk Hogan was basically declaring bankruptcy. He was on the absolute balls of his ass, and he was like, you know what? It was 2009.
Still said no?
Yeah. So it was before 2009, I should say. So he was in a real valley, said no. Instead, he put his name on.
Yeah, it had to be before 2009, because we used to use the George Foreman grill when I was in college.
Yeah. And so instead, he put his name on one of those like NutriBullets, but it wasn't the NutriBullet, those little smoothie makers.
Yeah.
And the NutriBullet just came out and was better. He also put his name on a meatball maker. You can't find them, but it was sort of like, you go in, you like make meatballs as if you're doing some sort of exercise. Totally passed on that. But what pulled Hulk Hogan out of his valley was 2009, when he got $31 million from that legal settlement from the sex tape.
Which was, I believe, funded by, I can't remember the
Gawker?
billionaire.
Okay.
Well, no, it was fun. It was an attack against Gawker, because there was a billionaire who had been outed as being gay when it was not public by Gawker. He funded Hogan's attack on Gawker, and then he got the
31 fucking million dollars. Yeah. So either way, peaks and valleys throughout his whole career. I think the most recent headline with Hulk Hogan was that he was going to buy some Hooters locations and switch it around to Hulksters or something like that. But obviously all that's on hold because the guy's no longer with us. So rest in peace, Hulkster.
Yeah, rest in peace, Hulkster, man. He, also like between him and Ozzy, two of the, not just icons, but sounds dumb, but two real early reality TV stars. Especially Ozzy. That show was huge. Yeah. But then for my age, like Hogan Knows Best was a big deal.
It's huge.
Put Brooke Hogan over, made her famous. Like that was a very big one as well.
Right. And she was, I think, mediocre at best, but it kind of given her like a little bit more than she probably deserved. But if you want to say this
good,
thing,
I hope to, as someone else who is mediocre at best, I hope to have my Hogan Knows Best moment.
I'm the Brooke Hogan of this podcast, by the way. I think it was one of those things too. Malcolm Jamal Warner from the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
You talk about a bad week for Brandon.
I know, he loves him. He's been down all week, dude.
Yeah, because the Cosby Show is his niche category on the dozen. I've played his team a couple of times, and I think at least once or twice, and Brandon knows everything about the fucking Cosby Show.
He knows everything. I didn't actually know that about him, but I learned it through the Malcolm Jamal Warner story where it's his favorite sitcom of all time.
Yeah.
And he is neurodivergent almost. In his ability to lock in things that he loves.
Yeah.
And so, I was kind of blown away by how much he knows about the Cosby Show.
Chris Clemmer came over to me in the New York office when the Malcolm Jamal Warner news hit, And it's not one of those things, where were you when Malcolm Jamal Warner died? But he was like, Large, nobody else is in this, because everyone's so young, understands how important he was to us, like growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, I didn't know if you want to do a prayer group or something, but he was right. Like, as I looked around, the only place that had any weight was with me and Clemmer. Otherwise, everyone's like, who cares?
Nobody knows.
Wrong Cosby Show guy died. Like, something like that.
Well, and
should have been
like,
the blind rapist, maybe.
Yeah, like Brandon talked about, that's kind of something else that he was lamenting that I think is a pretty salient point, is that because of what we now know about Bill, so much good, like it's impossible to reminisce without that getting brought up and either having it explained. It's more like it just ruins what should be a time of celebration of a show that was really quite groundbreaking and game changing. And he even mentioned that he thinks that like Theo's story was kind of the story of the show, where he's like a fuck up at the beginning, then it ends with him graduating college. Like he really grew up during it, and now you have to start every article about it like Bill Cosby accused multiple.
Right. It's one of those things where it's sort of, So to say that Bill Cosby ruined the legacy of the Cosby Show is probably one of the least evil things that he's done.
True.
But still, it's absolutely fucked around with our childhoods, at least mine and Brandon, because we're so goddamn old. So what we do is we have people send in reviews wherever you listen to or watch this podcast. And with the 5-star reviews, if you want to throw in a question, we'll get to a couple on the show. We'll get to probably 3 of them today, kind of, I don't know, spread throughout, but I'll get to one right away. This comes from a guy called Filth Magic. Chinese and Japanese restaurants, 5 stars. Large, how do you feel when restaurants have both Chinese and Japanese food? I'm not a fan. When I want sushi, I don't want to be tempted with wonton soup. All right, I don't know. I'm bringing these on now. Sometimes I do that segment before I had the guest on, but I like Tebow. So I'm going to ask your opinion on it too.
Here's what I would say. I think, and granted, this maybe comes from the fact that I have not been to many like what would be considered very nice Chinese restaurants. To me,
Pepsi.
Pop that thing. To me, God, good ASMR work there. Great Foley work. To me, though, Chinese food almost operates on an inverse principle to almost every other food, where the cheaper it is, sometimes that's actually the kind that I'm craving more. Mm-hmm. Like mall Chinese food has just a real fucking special plate. Yep. Plate in my heart.
Plate in your heart.
Where they
we're so fat. Yeah.
Where, they give you that styrofoam box and they just used to pack it to the fucking gills. Yes. And nothing about its quality, but it's fucking sweet and tasty.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is all to say that while it is not right, and it's definitely not a foodie take, I've been known to maybe frequent a cheap ass, all you can eat Chinese, Japanese combo where it's like, grab some shitty sushi, grab some coconut shrimp, some sesame chicken, maybe some fried rice, some lo mein. Are we doing noodles? Yeah, get some, I know I have a place in my heart for those places.
I agree with you, and then I'm going to have an opposite answer if that's understandable. Chinese food, I agree with you 100%. I don't pay up for Chinese food.
Yeah.
Because I feel if I have a big Chinese meal when we used to go to like Sayang and shit, right? With the big paper dragon going throughout. And Chinese food is shovel food for me. Yes. I get my mouth closer to the plate than just about any other cuisine, right? Yeah. And I always leave the greatest.
Shovel food is.
Yeah. I have the greatest Chinese restaurant give me a big meal. I have that same meal at, Sunhua Hing, where I used to deliver Chinese food in the projects, Marlboro Project. I still feel like shit after both. Like, you know what I'm saying? And to your point, maybe it's more unhealthy when you go to this cheap Chinese or the mall Chinese and the sticky and the gooey and all that kind of stuff, but it's still absolutely delicious. Japanese, I need to be high end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I want some dichotomy. I don't mind anybody making my Chinese. And by the way, we're not stupid enough to not know where the sausage is made. If you're going to Chinese, there's a good chance that the person cooking the food is not from the Pyongyang province, right? You know what I mean? It's only a Mexican dude or something like that. So it's not like due to the authenticity. I just think there's such a fucking skill set with Japanese food in particular that I don't like when Chinese.
Well, isn't that kind of like everything the Japanese do, I feel like, and this is probably, if you're actually Japanese, you're probably like, this dude, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Sure. But my outside view is like, it's taking arguably simple concepts and pushing them to their absolute limits, like approaching them with such an intensity and a pursuit of how can I elevate this thing to the farthest that it can be. And so it kind of naturally lends
and
itself.
still keep tradition.
Yes.
Like this seems like there's a fucking, like there's a 1,000-year-old proverb on why they do everything. And I kind of respect that.
Yes. And so I guess, so it's all to say that like, I think that lends itself to paying more, a higher dining experience. Although I should say, I mean, I love them all Chinese, but like my favorite place in Baton Rouge is always place Chinese Inn on Nicholson. Shit, I went there for 18 years. They like knew me before I had kids. They knew me as kids. And I knew I could always trust them because it was that classic whole family's always there, right? There'd always be a kid doing the homework when I would go to order. They sleep above the restaurant. Like
perfect.
It was a beautiful place, wonderful architecture and decorations inside, but like nobody was ever eating inside Ram. I fucking love that place.
The best Chinese restaurant that I've ever been to, the best Chinese meal I've ever had. And I don't have a lot of best ofs because you eat so much, I have a tough time picking my favorites. Was the Blue Orchid in Romford, England. I went with this guy. Wow. His name is John Fisher. He's pretty big on the internet, and he does Bosch. He's big fat.
Oh, well, yeah, guy. I've seen the Bosch guy. So big Bosch guy. Fuck yeah.
I went with him.
I love that guy.
I went with him and his son because his son's
a boxer.
Johnny, yeah. So I went with it because he was on a Canelo undercard or something. Yeah. So I was over there in England covering. Oh no, it was Bivol versus Beterbiev Part 2, and I think Johnny was on the undercard there. So then, I just said, "Can we do this?" It was all put together. I put out a video on it, but I'm telling you, T-Bob, I went over there, and sometimes when you're from New York or you're from just the United States in general, you turn your nose up on what you're going to eat overseas.
Yeah.
These guys, Stingray was the dad who owns the place. These guys are from China. It was the best Chinese meal I ever fucking had in my life.
And I've seen Instagram videos of his Chinese orders. Yes. They are
shrimp bowls, prawn bowls, chicken bowls, curry sauce, two charm. That's how he done it. And Bosch. So he ordered for the fucking table. And his wife was there with him, who you've met too. His wife is a lovely lady. And it was fantastic. Just Filt Magic, I would tell you, I don't like when those two cuisines mix. So sometimes I think there's a place for both. It's just one of those things. I think those two in particular, I had asked Michael Ferraro, a couple like chefs that we've had on, like, do you think sushi would be a thing if it wasn't Japanese? Because it's the culture of Japan that makes me think, I kind of respect what they do. But if an Irish guy was like, hey, laddie, have a little bit of this raw salmon on top of a wee bit of potatoes, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. The guy's like, no, I just pasted this with a little, basically a little bit of mirin. And then I'm like, oh, how fucking decadent. I feel like a samurai. So I don't know. Japanese.
You remember the first time you ate sushi though? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I remember the exact first time, but I want to say it was probably like, early high school, something along those lines. And when you get those flavors in your mouth for the first time, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is different. And this is
the first time you eat it, did you eat it kind of Americanized?
Very Americanized. Probably had like cream cheese in the roll and stuff like that.
Or it's deep fried, or it's got the mayo squirted on it.
And
stuff.
then you eventually learn to like love like a sashimi and like, oh shit, like this and that. And then we get into our simplicity and
It does. It's a cuisine. By the way, we're going to be here for a while. It's a cuisine that does start like with mayonnaise and deep frying and stuff, and it gets simpler. Like right now, I walk into good Japan, and like I said, I only try to go to good Japanese places. It's not a flex. I've just been sick from other places, and I go for like the most simple dishes. Like I try to have whatever it is that I can actually taste the fucking fish. You know what I mean? But my first thing, same way as you, it's dunking a fucking California roll so much into soy sauce and mixing the wasabi in there, and like the rice starts to fall off in the fucking dish. Like I love the condiments more than I love the fish for a long
the
time.
Fucking eel sauce.
Oh, the eel sauce.
I could drink
Squeeze
eel
bottle,
sauce straight, dude. I think it's funny. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I had Kadek on the day that it was announced that Benihana was. I was like, have you ever been to Benihana? He's like, no. I was like, oh, poor. He's poor. Like, but he just meant that he's never
been to Benihana.
But you've been to a hibachi.
Yes.
So I said Benihana just because that to me is like Bounty instead of paper towels. It's kind of synonymous with it. But I totally fucked up. But there's a hibachi, Benihana, which is the original one. I think it started maybe in San Fran. I'm not sure. They're now doing, for people who can't come in and do the whole throw the shrimp tail in your mouth experience, they're doing the full meal in a burrito, which they then warm up on the flat top too. So inside is the fried rice, some of the noodles, a couple of shrimp they give you, then your protein with the 2 ashtrays of sauce. Isn't that fucking gorgeous?
I mean, I'm in.
I would. Yeah.
Again, it's one does not demean the other. You can appreciate the finely crafted, artful sashimi.
Yeah.
And then also love all the Americanized bullshit being stuffed in a burrito.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's the whole thing too. I want that burrito as much as I want the white tuna, not that escalar shit they serve you at some of the Japanese places. I want them both probably on an equal thing. So I think that's an answer.
I also think with Chinese, my last thought's there because I mean, Chinese food might literally
doesn't have to be your last thought.
Favorite shit ever. But you mentioned feeling bad afterwards. The similarities between Chinese food and drug use are stunning to me in that it's the exact same pathway where a craving begins and it's all I can think about and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I build it up in my head. I order the food. So I'm going to satiate the craving. And my God, that when it is going in, it feels euphoric. It feels amazing. And then the come down starts. You feel bad about yourself. Yeah. I'll never do this again. Right. And then a week later, the craving shows up again. And rinse and repeat.
When I first got my first apartment in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, I was so proud. A 6th floor walk up, 101st Street and 4th Avenue. Again, my wife is here in the wings. She remembers that apartment fondly because I used to blow her back out there. It's fucking unfair. Actually, I'll write you a letter of apology. But my first night there, I had my TV set up, my couch. Otherwise, everything was in boxes. I got Chinese food delivered. It was my first meal in my new place.
Fuck yes.
And they didn't give me any fucking utensils. It was pouring. It was 11 o'clock at night as the place closed, the whole deal. I don't have a fucking single utensil in my thing. So I ate my rice like chopsticks with 2 screwdrivers and I ate my soup with a shoehorn. I remember that. And I was like, man, I made it. Look at me, my first apartment. I'm in New York City, right? Dude. Yeah, so I love it. I obviously I love both cuisines. How about this? If you say that the Venn diagram for alcoholism and late night Chinese food is essentially an eclipse. I agree with you with that 100%.
Oh, I've always said circle. I like eclipse. Yeah, I'm going to steal that.
Will you tell me will you agree with me that Chinese food is an inordinate percentage better sitting down than ordering a takeout? Because now I'm not doing as many drunken benders where I'm ordering Chinese food.
Yeah.
If the kids are like, we want to do Chinese tonight, I'm like, cool, get in the car. We'll go to T.S. Ma in Wyckoff, New Jersey, shout out. Sit down. I find that when I have a Chinese meal, sitting down at a table with the tea, with the fucking the crispy noodles, duck sauce, and hot, and when it comes out, it's like 35% better than when I have it at home.
So this is something that's actually a relatively new experience for me, where I just moved down here a couple of months ago, and on Father's Day, my family had to leave because they had to go on vacation. My wife's family, I had to stay at her work, and so they left. So I had Father's Day all alone, and so I ate a bunch of edibles, and I went and I like walked through the woods for like 4 hours straight. And at the end of the day, the thing I was most excited about, I was going to go get Chinese, and I was planning on doing takeout. But I drove by a place. I was like, "Oh, that looks great." It's called Mandarin House, and I popped in, and yes, it was. I mean, it's crazy to say, but it is one of the only times in which I have had a sit down Chinese meal.
It's very good.
And it was fucking mind blowing. And I ordered my classics. I ordered some stuff that I normally would not get. And it was
went outside your comfort zone a little bit. I like it. Yeah.
No, I'm a big I mean, look, I have my go-tos that I'm always gonna love, but I'm also I love a chef's choice. I like look, whatever you, because I like most things. Mm-hmm. So I sometimes like to have the burden of the decision taken off of me, and let's just see where this is going to go. Yeah. But so whatever. That's all to say. It was fucking fantastic, and I look forward to doing more sit down Chinese and breaking my own routine of just ordering cheap takeout.
Do that
and
for
doing
me.
More sit down Chinese in the future.
How old are the kids?
7, 5, and 2.
So you're not
right
there
now,
yet.
Restaurants are kind of fucked because my 2-year-old's just an asshole at them.
So
and we're hardcore like no iPads at the restaurant and stuff family. So
we're 21, 18, and 15. Like I'm out of the woods as far as that's concerned with you. And so it's lovely. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like having
everybody's together.
I can drink.
Nobody's having to cook.
I have at least 2 other drivers there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. So to answer your question, I like going to Chinese versus having it in. I like when Chinese and Japanese are separate restaurants. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I have an old friend. His name is Doug Urisco. He lives up in Connecticut, but I think his dad had lived by where we are in northern New Jersey, and he turned us on to this all-you-can-eat buffet, and we were in the mood for an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it was Chinese, Japanese, opposite sides of the restaurant.
Yes.
So perhaps it was serviced by like something, and that was honestly like I almost busted out the shoehorn again because I wanted to shovel more, and they both did a pretty good job. So sometimes you can get those fucking huge Vegas buffets. I'm not talking about the ones in Amish country. Get those huge Vegas buffets and they have a sushi chef doing his thing over here and they have a guy with a hot wok over there. That's okay. But just your regular mom and pop Chinese, Japanese, I'm going to have to say, go fuck yourself. I normally take some notes about people before I sit down and talk to them. This is the extent of my notes for T-Bob.
Yeah,
These are my notes right here. Bobby Hebert, the Cajun Cannon, LSU offensive lineman.
Yep.
I was about to start doing stuff.
That's it.
And then I was like, I don't think... Like I wrote these by myself. I'm pretty proud of those 2 sentences. I don't think I need, I think through conversation, I'm going to know everything that people need to know about you.
Yeah.
But for people who don't know you.
I can give you want me to do like a quick bio?
I don't want you to do fucking shit. No, absolutely. If you could, give me a quick bio on you. And then we'll talk about how we met. So give people an idea who you are and whatnot.
So like you said, my old man, Cajun Cannon.
What a fucking nickname.
I know, it's a great nickname.
Is there a better sports name?
It's a great nickname.
What's the best sports nickname before you even go on?
Well, I don't know. I think you might have incepted me with this with a different question, but I've always found the big fundamental. Tim Duncan to be like really good and funny.
Yeah, we're going to do the Tim Duncan question.
The answer is another class. I know Dr. Duncanstein's, whatever. The list goes on and on.
Ahead.
But so I grew up. He was quarterback in the USFL, then the Saints and the Falcons. 15 years professional football, absolute badass. I wanted for nothing. I'm a silver spoon spoiled little bitch.
Right.
And grew up loving sports, loving football, ended up playing at LSU. That was great. Tried to make the NFL. Wasn't good enough. Got done and was like, well, fuck, I know nothing. I'm a general studies major that just played football. I did not treat school appropriately. But I did a lot of media. In my time. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I think radio could be fun, even though I always said I never would when I was playing. And so I leveraged some connections I had made through doing media, and I got like a Monday and Thursday night show for like 2 hours. And I was supposed to be selling advertisements as well.
Okay.
And I just spent a year just lying to my bosses, smoking weed, playing basketball, and being like, yeah, I'm out here in Gonzales, man, fucking pounding the pavement. I just can't get any purchase. You know,
right.
We're gonna get, but I was just lying the entire time. All I cared about was the show. And so after a year of that, I was like, hey, look, obviously I don't have the sales bone. So I got to try to do the media thing full time. And once again, privilege, spoiled bitch. My old man, in his post-playing career, had become the main radio guy at the big station in New Orleans, WWL, 870, big AM stick, 38 states at night. You know, one of the 100,000 watt flame, those classic old school. And they had a smaller station where they were starting a new morning show. And so I got that opportunity. I got that morning show when I absolutely did not deserve it. And it allowed me to do radio full time, no sales or anything. And so I went to New Orleans, did that. That was a morning show. After a couple of years, WWL, the big AM station, they had opened in the 8 to midnight slot. So then I went over there and I did 8 to midnight for a couple more years. And then I was getting to the age where I wanted to start a family, and that 8 to midnight slot was kind of brutal for that.
Yeah, it's tough.
And the Baton Rouge morning show opened up. And then so I went back to Baton Rouge, started the morning show there. And then that show ended up like getting syndicated all throughout Louisiana. And then along the way, did some podcasts for Volume and Cowherd. And then actually me and Jim Rome just earlier this year, we're doing a TV show together.
Okay.
But then I came here and I had to stop it. But I fucking love Jim Rome. That guy is awesome, dude.
Okay.
Oh my God. But I guess it's all to say that, yeah, I've been doing a daily multi-hour radio show for 13 years straight.
I think I was on it once.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I had you on. Yeah, we had you on to talk boxing. Yeah.
I think it was before Canelo.
Yeah, it was before Canelo.
Yeah.
I know. And actually, Alondra Villarreal, shout out, one of my great producers that I had in my time. It's still there now. We were just together. She's a massive Canelo and boxing fan. We should have done that more. But anyway, so then my contract was up and coming up in February. And I asked work for a raise. And I said, if y'all don't want to do it, I'm going to look around. And they said no. And I was kind of miffed at the time, but kind of thank God they did, because that's what kind of pushed me to finally pitch myself to Barstool. And so I pitched myself to Dan, and then the process started. And then a few months later, I'm here. And I was telling Andy before we started, it's fucking crazy, man. I don't know, you're a Harry Potter guy. I'm an everything nerd guy, but I always grew up fantasizing about the Harry Potter experience, where all of a sudden, he's living a normal life, then all of a sudden he gets a letter that says, hey, you're actually a wizard and you're going to Hogwarts now. And I'm getting goosebumps. I had a real ass revelation the other day that, holy fuck, this is that fantasy.
Yeah.
I was living a completely normal life and I loved it and I was content and I was very happy in Baton Rouge, and that was going to be my life forever. And now, fucking 2 months later, I'm in the third largest city in America, America's Constantinople, where East meets the West. I'm fucking at Wrigley Field with Joey Chestnut trying to slug 11 beers and 11 dogs in 9 innings. What the fuck is this life?
Yeah.
I truly got my letter, and now I'm at Hogwarts and I am fucking head over heels in love with it.
And I'm happy for you. As soon as I found out, I'd reached out to you to congratulate you, because we don't, like I said, I did your radio show once, but we had met at Hogs, and I immediately liked you. You're one of those guys that people have I believe I'm like this also. I think people decide whether or not they like me or dislike me almost immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's 100% approval rating, but I think you can tell whether or not you're a T-Bob guy or not almost immediately after.
Well, and I felt an immediate, I think, you have a very gregarious and large personality that is just really self-confident and very honest. I think about who you can quickly get a kind of vibe of who you are, or how you operate. And I think that's very so I immediately found myself attracted to that.
I think it's the age too. Right now I'm at a point where I don't need any more friends.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I think my funeral is going to be packed enough, right? I think so. I'm not looking to add any more to the we're more circling the wagons now, to the point where the kids are we see a lot of parents in town, and maybe you're like this. Well, since you just did the transplant thing, they're they go out to dinner with other parents. I'm yeah, we did that. 15, 20 years ago, but now, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I'd rather just sit down in a Chinese restaurant.
It's great when you find other parents that you genuinely like and want to be friends with. It's really tough when you're thrust into the ones where you would never actually be hanging out if it wasn't for the fact that your kids loved each other.
And that's the whole thing. I sometimes say when we are stuck at parties, I'm Annie, I'm starting to hate the town that I'm from and hate everybody there. It gets you a little bit fucking bitter. But I will tell you guys, I'll give you advice nobody asked for. If you're looking to get married or looking to make friends in your new neighborhood, don't concentrate on what you guys like in common. If you find somebody who hates the same things that you hate, it's such a better relationship. It really is, because it's not like I talk to my wife, oh, another sunset. Aren't we both fond of those? But I do talk to my wife all the time. Oh, I heard The View got canceled. Fuck those people. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I think that we built a 26 years? Is that where we're at? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, but 26-year marriage on hate, which I think is kind of cool. Fuck you know, it's a stronger foundation.
Me and my wife just hit 12.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
And we're kind of funny because, you and Annie have a funny rapport, and it's reminiscent of us as well, where we say we're very aggressive with each other. We'll tell each other to shut the fuck up.
Right.
And there's been so many times in public where I actually do that and people get freaked the fuck out. We're at one of my old teammates' weddings last summer in Cabo. It's a nice wedding, all very fancy. We're sitting there eating with some people, just making this small talk. And at some point I was shut the fuck up.
Right.
And the person across from me just went white.
Yeah.
And I know that later that night she was telling her, I was can you believe that? You think she's okay?
Yeah.
You think she's okay?
Should we call somebody?
Should we call? Do we talk to?
Should she give that hand signal?
No, but trust me, she does the same thing to me. It's just how we communicate. We've been together since we were 16 years old. Wow. We don't know anything.
That's
but
crazy.
Each other.
So you're an LSU offensive lineman. I just said to one of the salespeople over here, I think I'm only going to have linemen on the show. One of my first guests, maybe my first guest, was Nick Mangold. I think Nick
legend. He was at Hogs. He was at Hogs that weekend as well.
Nick came on, and then I had Kadick on, another offensive lineman. Now I'm having you on.
Fat guys that are, I'm
going to have Willie Colon on, who used to be my co-host at Barstool Breakfast.
I always thought that Barstool Radio was going to be the way that I was going to try to weasel my way into the ecosystem.
It would have been easy. That's I don't have a ton of regrets anymore. Barstool Breakfast and the serious thing just kind of going away. I had nothing to do with it going away.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much easier to have when we had this studio in the office and whatnot, and when I had Willie with me. But it's one of those things that I miss the most. And I've worked since I was delivering Chinese food for Sun Hua Hing when I was 11 or 12 years old. And so I've been working for the past 40 some odd years. The best job I ever had was the radio show with Willie. I love doing radio.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Just shoot the shit, especially when you like the people that you're with.
That is always the kind of the catch-20 or the rub is like chemistry is very tough, and a lot of times while you can manufacture it over time, you're going to kind of know off how much of a lift is it going to be?
Right.
How natural is it ever going to be? And it's like finding a lover.
It is.
When you find someone that you really get along with. Like you have those same kind of early relationship jitters. Jake Hester was my coach for a very long time. We had a very natural, we played together in college.
What position did he play?
He played running back.
Okay, so then you say it's like
the Broncos.
You're like, it's like a marriage. You're the offensive lineman. He's the running back. You're the power top.
Yeah.
Fucking Willie was the offensive lineman, and I was 25 years stockbroker. So that's why I don't like that fucking comparison, because now all I'm thinking about is Willie just fucking absolutely clapping my cheeks.
To be fair, Jake might have actually been the more powerful.
Was he one of those guys? Yeah, you never know. Can't tell a book by his cover. LSU, Mincy, right before I got in here. And I like Ben Mintz a lot, and he likes him a lot, the whole deal. Make sure you ask T-Bob about the LSU private chef.
Okay, yeah. So
so I remember I went to University of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The Notre Dame dining halls had its own food service thing. So a lot of schools will have their stuff kind of serviced out to places that are huge conglomerates that also serve like American Airlines. And you're like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Notre Dame had good food. I can't complain about that in a dining hall. I didn't go a ton, but it had very good food. But the private chef thing, I'm sure maybe the football team had, but I don't even know if they did. LSU did.
Yeah, so private chef is maybe a bit of a misnomer because what it is when they there's a big push over the last 10 years, kind of right before NIL and player compensation started coming about. One of the big points is like, well, why don't these players who generate all this money, why don't they have access to food all the time?
Yeah.
And so a lot of schools completely redid how they did food, and all of a sudden you could get better meals and better snack options, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's always an arms race in college football to increase facilities. LSU built a brand new football ops that one of the main things in it. And look, for me, I love my old school cafeteria. I fucking love cafeteria food.
Yeah.
I always have, right? And I used to love the Pentagon. That's what we used to eat at. It was great. So I don't mean this to disparage anything like that, right? But they completely rebuilt the kitchen, and they brought in a guy who is now a very close friend of mine. Used to have him on the radio show every single Thursday for years, called Munchies, everybody's favorite segment. Chef Michael Johnson, and he's just he's the executive chef of LSU Athletics, but he is someone with a very storied history in terms of I'm going to fuck up some of his resume, but I believe he was a chef for the Kansas City Royals. He was a chef for the Seattle Mariners. He tells crazy stories about like cooking for Amazon one time where he was in charge of making 50,000 burgers.
Really?
He had people passing out in the tent due to heat exhaustion, like guys on the line, like fight. Like, so he's an incredibly talented chef when he is just making a meal for you, which he's done for me, and it's mind-blowingly good. But also he is a true 10,000 hours expert when it comes to nutrition and managing the logistics of feeding, an entire athletic endeavor team, whatever have you, while also maintaining quality and sourcing ingredients, and he's just the absolute fucking best. And he's from Louisiana originally.
That
I
helps.
believe he went to Louisiana Culinary Institute, and so he now he's back. And if you ever wanted to go, like, if you want to know, like, if when you go down there, he can make a great meal, but also, like, if you want to go down and see where they're getting the shrimp from and see, like, he's a firm believer, like I think any great chef would be, right? About great ingredients and how much it matters. And I learned a lot because, like, even things like,
but you were an offensive lineman. Did he also make a side of beef for you guys?
So he wasn't there when I was there.
Okay.
This is a recent. This is like in the past 5 years.
Okay.
No, shout out Miss Delphine. She wasn't cooking, but she used to be in the Pentagon, and we just get like fucking cheap steak, like like a cheap salad, like I don't know what kind of I used
chopstick,
to just get like a fucking cheap steak, whatever, like potatoes they had the day, mac and cheese, maybe a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
I'd always finish it off with like a chocolate milk with some ice cream and Oreos in it. So like,
Obviously.
just like badass cafeteria food.
How big were you at your biggest? Like when you were playing?
I got to college at about 275. I was a little lighter. And then my senior year, when I was bulking up for guard, I got up to, I remember the most I ever weighed in. I weighed in the weight room at 318.
318 and how tall?
6'3".
6'3".
But I was strong as fuck. I could bench 445 pounds,
Jesus.
squatted 600. Like I was just like,
Where are you now?
shit. I was about 265 before the move, feeling fucking good.
Yeah.
And then the other day I go to the doctor with the ear infection. It's like 282. I'm like, fuck.
It's Barstool bump.
Yeah.
I did the same
So
thing.
I got to figure it out. I got to get back in my rhythm, my routine.
When I got here, I was whatever weight I was, then doing the radio show and doing Gentleman's Friday with Willie and just constantly doing stuff. I got up to 324. So I was 324.
Whoa.
I'm 6'5", 324. And I was watching a draft, and all the linemen, offensive linemen, were going at like 323, 319. And I wasn't an offensive lineman; I was just offensive. So now we had worked on a little health scare and stuff, so I was able to come back down. I'm not even yet at the weight I was when I started Barstool 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You see pictures of me, and there was a young girl who worked here, Ellie Schnitt, a little bit of a thing. I don't know.
I remember her. She
Ellie,
was tight. Little petite. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a funny girl. And
She was very funny.
huge social media following.
Yeah.
I remember never did much with Ellie, just at different audiences, but she had to do something where the Yankee fans were punished. And I think because they left maybe the kitchenette a mess. And
I
remember this?
Well, I know this. I didn't know anything about Barstool really when I started to work here. And then one of my best friends made the drive to Chicago with me, and he's a massive stoolie.
Okay.
And like Neo in The Matrix, when they like plug him in, he's like, I know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
He made me listen to 6 hours straight of Barstool history. So yes, you have it exactly right.
Yes.
They left the kitchen a mess. So their punishment was
I turned them in.
Had to
and listen, we were the first people in. Perhaps it was like a Yankees playoff game. It might have been on a Thursday night. And then when we came in to do Gentleman's Friday, I have to put out this big spread. I didn't have to. I love putting out this big spread. And I went in, and the kitchenette just looked like a bomb.
I saw pictures. It looked awful.
And so I mentioned it to somebody who was walking by. I was like, "Can you fucking believe these guys?" And then that person escalated it, told Dave. So I was kind of the fucking rat. Inadvertently or indirectly, I was the rat. Either way, these guys had to not watch the next game. Instead, they had to watch Ellie watch the game and tell them. She was like, he swung and he hit it. It's very far. And they're like, how far? She was like, it's out of the park. They were like, yeah. And it was like foul, strike one. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was very, very.
I remember because of the clips that I saw, if the Yankees were pitching, they would get very excited when it went to commercial because they were assuming that meant that that they got off the field.
Yeah. So anyway, that's when I started with Ellie, and she was wonderful. But you'll see that everyone has their fat phase here at Barstool.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of going through it a little bit. Mincy, I think, is in the middle of.
Mincy's on fire right now. He's lost a ton of weight.
And he's about to run a marathon.
He's locked in. He's running his ass off. Keto. Mincy is doing very well in that regard. I'm just a big routine guy, right? Like when I was in Baton Rouge right before I switched, I'd wake up at 4:30. I'd work out 5 to 6. I'd do my show 7 to 10. I'd do my college football podcast noon to 1. I'd go pick up the kids from school, bring them home, bring them gymnastics, whatever. And then me and Rome would do our show 5 to 6. And that was every day.
Oh, okay.
And it was,
That's
so I
very
was
structured.
I was locked.
Yeah.
And now it's like I just got to refine. I got to refine it. I got to refine
Yeah,
it.
you do got to get in that groove. And plus, you're so new here at Barstool, you don't have that set schedule yet.
No.
You know what I mean? Like busting out Twisted History, Rubbing His Racing, you got to try this. Like it does even give me a little bit of a schedule because I have to meet like some deadlines. And that's coming from a guy where the bell rang at 9:30 and rang again at 4 o'clock. And I traded for those fucking times
I cannot
without
imagine
even
that,
moving.
bruh.
Yeah, so it's the same thing for me. I was a creature of habit, forced into it, came to Barstool, wasn't, and I was 324 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's what it does.
Well, it's the daily battle.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I bring up Mincy because he's the reason we met.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Minty he'd convinced Dave to sponsor a team to go down to Hogs for the Cause down in Louisiana. You go Louisiana or Louisiana?
I say Louisiana.
Okay. So we were down in New Orleans.
I don't think about it, but now, man, I think about it, Louisiana. I say both.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
They do this huge barbecue festival. I had gone down maybe the year before that. I actually judged. He and I had judged, Minty and I had judged like a rib competition. And it's not as fun as it sounds because it's just.
It's a lot of. I've judged a lot of food competitions in my radio career.
Anything. It's
tough.
It's just clamshell after clamshell of room temperature food, and you can sort of do. But then even if you like
you know what I do
so much.
The system that I developed, because again, that's one of the local radio staples, right? Is come be a food judge. Is I would I'll go through everything once and do a score, but I'm worried about the first one tasting better because I'm kind of hungry versus the last one. And then I go back a second time and I adjust all my scores off of each other.
But it's not fun. That's the bottom line. It's not. It's not as cool as it sounds.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and there
it's
are
like
people
judging a bikini competition. Fucking awkward and awful. I did it once, and I've never wanted to do anything less in my entire life.
I've done that maybe 12 times because I have to do the ring card girl thing after Rough and Rowdy. Yeah. So it'd be like, I'd have all these one-liners, like a girl would do a split and I'd be like, 10 school rings fell out. Like I tried to keep it pretty blue, but I would do that again. I would do a bikini judging more so than I would do a food judging ever again. Did you ever do any like competitive eating? Anything like with the boys?
I actually a couple of years ago with Joey Chestnut randomly, Fat Boys Pizza had a big pizza eating competition, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it's
like
tough.
The second I took that first bite of pizza, I was like, I'm not. It was these giant, like 2-foot slices. I knew I didn't stand a fucking chance in hell.
Plus the nerves, I think, get to you a little too.
Well, I started. I mean, yeah, and I was a local crowd, so they were all like, cheering me on and everything, and I started fucking just straight up faking it. I just started acting like I was eating, and I wasn't. I was just done, and so yeah, it's I got a lot of respect for the competitive eaters. I mean, shit, that After Dark stream that we just did where we had to eat those dogs. And the thing about those dogs, though, I got a little worried when I saw Chestnut be like, ooh, when he saw the size of them. They were quarter-pound dogs.
Those are big dogs.
Thick, girthy dogs. If they were like, he said they were double the size of Nathan's.
Really?
So basically, we were eating double dogs. And it was fucking, like, it was hard. I had to push myself.
So 99 beers, 99 hot dogs, 9 innings. During the 7th inning stretch, if you so desired, you could eat a finger sandwich. You could pull the trigger, right?
You could puke without getting disqualified, which is just a wonderful rule. Because
it's a crazy fucking caveat.
It led to one of the most insane scenes I've ever seen where you have 4 men around 2 trash cans taking turns. I mean, projectile vomiting. Like some of the grossest shit I've ever seen in my life. So I hate throwing up. So I wasn't going to, but in the 9th inning, the first bite of dog 11, I was cooked.
Well, yeah.
And I finally puked. I puked off camera because I don't want that shit out there.
Yeah, it's probably better.
But it felt amazing afterwards. Funnily enough, of course.
A little boot and rally.
But like the craziest thing about the Chestnut angle is the literal coaching and the effectiveness of said coaching.
Oh, really?
Where, yes, he was like, okay, look, you want to keep your body moving. You want to keep moving. You always want to be eating or drinking. Don't stop. Like kind of resting is maybe your enemy. You want to visualize the food going down into your stomach and even like physically like push it down to help with that visualization. Really? So I'm doing all this the entire time. But after dog 8, I was done. I was panicking. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Like, and I really wanted to get to. I'm like, I can't fucking do it. I'm panicking. He sees me panicking. He comes up to me. And he starts some breathing exercise. Like, calm down. Starts rubbing my belly.
I love this for him.
And I'm like breathing in through my, he's like, first Philip, you were going to do a chest breath. So I'm doing that. Then we're going to do a diaphragm breath. We're going to like push your stomach out as far as you can, like push. So he gets me calm down breathing. And then he leans in. He says, look, nobody gives a fuck how you feel. All that matters is the number. Wow. And it's so, and you think about what a fascinating insight into his life where that is true. And he's talking, he's like, everybody's gonna ask me, why do you eat so much when you're lapping the competition? Why are you fucking pushing yourself so hard? And it's the fucking number. Wow. Because that's what he's chasing, the number. And it's so true. Nobody gives a fuck how you, and so after that, I managed to get down 2 more dogs and I hit 10, which I was very proud of because I was mentally quit. And he kicked me in the ass and got me to keep going and push myself to my literal limit, as then I would later throw up, despite the fact that I tried to avoid throwing up at all costs.
He was visibly shook with the amount of vomit. Because that's a no-no in his industry.
Yes, he was actively pissed with the purposeful strategic vomit. He thought we were pussies.
And it's like if a professional, I don't even know what the weightlifter came to a Barstool and we all just started shooting Diana ball right beforehand. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like we're putting you're putting bands on the bar to help to help pull it up or something. Or you're doing like supported pull-ups, which we had gone
down to Hogs for the Cause. We Mincy had brought together a bunch of very, very good chefs, but the problem is that a lot of them hadn't worked together. So we were cranking out, when you do a lot of these barbecue tournaments, you get into a groove with your team.
Yeah.
And so when we had to put in all the food that we had made collectively with the chefs, I think we only took like 15th place in like one wing category out of the 70 categories. So it wasn't a huge success as far as what our results were for Team Porknoy. Dave,
it's a good name.
Yeah,
it's a good name.
You're welcome. I'm the one who came up with it. Then we took the Team Portnoy T-shirt. We crossed out the port and we put pork above it. My wife was the person that did most of the logistics because you can imagine Mitzi wasn't that great at that shit. Yeah. Nobody is, but she's great as far as that goes, and a bunch of other things, sweetheart. But what came of it is I met guys like you. I was down there with me and Mangold. And I thought it was a fucking wonderful time.
It was so much fun, dude. That's one of the most fun times I've ever had. Now, I did very famously end up serving a multi-year Hogs suspension for that night because that was the day in which I'd done a morning radio show down there. Maybe the Final Foursome, I can't remember. I was on a beautiful run by Lake Pontchartrain, and my wife calls me, and she's crying. And I'm like, what is it? And she won't answer. What is it? And I start yelling, what, like, fucking talk. What is it? I assumed one of the kids was hurt.
Yeah.
And she tells me she's pregnant and with our 3rd child. And I was like, because again, I went from thinking she's about to tell me one of the kids got ran over by a car in the hospital. And then I'm having a 3rd kid. I was ecstatic.
Yes,
like I was infused with like a golden glow. I remember letting out this giant like guffaw, like, oh my God, what? Like, and she was like a little freaked out telling me, I was like, no, this is fucking incredible. This is amazing. This is going to be great. Because we always knew we wanted to have 3. Like we planned on the first 2. 3rd one just happened. But we always knew we wanted to have 3, but we were, you get overwhelmed. We're kind of hesitant to ever pull the trigger.
Sure.
So this was like kind of the burden being lifted off the back. So I was ecstatic. But being a bit of a degenerate, and she was like, okay, look, just stay. So like, she was supposed to come to Hogs. She's like, I'm going to stay here. You go, you have fun. And so I maybe took that a bit too much, too hard.
You went at it.
And I just went on a basic 48-hour drug bender, telling everyone that I'm having a 3rd child. I'm like tripping balls.
Because when we hired you, I was like, he's still alive? Because when I met you, you had a fucking, you had a way about you.
And I don't mean to be flip about it because it was wrong of me. And I've apologized profusely to her after that, and I will never do that again. But it is a weird thing where in my mind, it was such a, and I feel bad because I know this is not in her mind. She doesn't feel this way. But in my mind, I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Like I was so happy about the news.
Celebrating.
And then we're like partying, which I love, and it's fun. And then like Friday night, it's like fucking like Manny Fresh and Juvenile are playing. Yep. And it was just like, what an amazing way to ring in the news of a 3rd child.
But then you got the band.
Yeah, which rightfully so, well earned. No, I think I've served my time, and I look forward to her finally being able to come as well, and us going back one day.
For people who don't know what Hogs for the Cause is, why don't I give them a shout out right now? They do the best barbecue competition in the United States, and every penny of what they make goes to the Ronald McDonald House.
Well, no, they actually.
The Hogs House, right?
It's
Hogs House.
A lot of times the same concept. It's like kids, it's families who are
totally blanked on that for a
childhood cancer, and they building these really nice places and then go stay as they're fighting,
right?
And everything,
which I think is similar to the Ronald McDonald House, like thing,
House,
but they do it all on their own. And Minty was able to take me to the thing. I apologize about that Ronald McDonald thing.
I mean, both are good causes. No problem. Good cause.
Yeah,
shout out.
Absolutely. Yes, it's good for that. Yeah, right. I could have been like the P. Diddy house, but it was one of those things where it's just the most noble thing to do, most noble charity you can go for, right? Sick kids and helping out their families and doing it in a fun way. The weather's usually great. The reason I did that is I said I was going to get to 3 letters. This is the second DM. This is from Reverend Phil from Hogs for the Cause, a guy that we competed against. Kind of. He did very well. We didn't. We can get you some great content from large hunting Louisiana alligators, which might do some big numbers online. Get you on a boat for an alligator hunt, then have you eat some content eating alligator afterwards. Put you on the Boudin Trail. Let you judge Louisiana's best boudin, crackling, and sausage. Then have you do a Cajun cuisine tour where you can eat some of the most authentic Cajun food you can handle. Lots of different opportunities for you to make it a business content trip and a family personal trip. Let me know what you think, what you need to set up, what the time frames are, and so we can make this happen. I believe alligator season starts in September and runs about 60 days. If that doesn't work, we still have many other things we can do for content. Think on it and get back to me when you can. What a great fucking DM. For a guy just starting a... Oh, yeah. So it's the Hogs for the Cause, a nonprofit organization that raises money and builds housing known as Hogs houses for families with children receiving treatment at children's hospitals. Listen, I'm not saying that you need to donate money to places just because I do, but get your ass to this fucking festival, enjoy yourself. They'll benefit from them. And if you're the type of guy that likes to contribute to good causes, just look up Hogs House and Hogs for the Cause. And these people are it. They don't spend it on Vespas for their kids. They spend it on making other kids better.
That is one of the things that I love about that adults have figured out is that we've all kind of accepted that, like, look, why not? If we need an excuse to party in the way that we used to, let's just wrap it up in a good cause.
Yeah.
And everybody wins.
Exactly.
We get fucked up. We eat great food. We have so much fun. And at the end of the day, actual good shit is accomplished.
I fought in college, and I fought in a thing called the Bengal Bouts. Notre Dame had the Bengal Bouts, and all the money went to the Bengal mission funds for these starving kids in Bangladesh.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why I signed up for it. I thought I was going to get to fight starving kids, really knock the flies off their eyes. But either way, you'd go in there and fucking fight. Notre Dame has been trying to do away with that, but they can't because Bangladesh relies on us to kind of do that every year. So as a result, the Bengal Bouts are going strong. So you can you see me in that. But either way,
the flies off their eyes is an all-time line.
Yeah, Reverend Phil had hit me. I want to do this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know.
Have you ever had boudin?
Yeah, I've had boudin. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, and I know that you're the guy and whatnot. So I love Cajun cuisine.
Yeah,
I love everything to do with it. Honestly, like you talk about how I respect the culture of Japanese food. I love everything about fucking. I love making different roux.
But I do as well.
Yeah.
Roux, making a roux is one of life's great pleasures.
It's like a religion, right? The Trinity versus the Mirepoix and all that kind of shit. I love it. So to have somebody, and we were by Reverend Phil, I don't want to give out his whole name if he doesn't want to, but we were at his tent and whatnot. He was one of the competitors, maybe even was part of the organization thing. It's all a blur now from the alcohol, but that's something that I think I could do. And I would love to do it with like either you or Mince, like just kind of, or Megan, right? Because Megan's kind of into that shit too.
Megan knows. Megan makes an incredible gumbo. Megan has her Cajun cuisine down.
Does she?
Like people don't even realize how authentic and good the chicken and sausage gumbo she made the office last year was.
Really?
Like I saw pictures of it and I saw a lot of internet people who don't understand what a good gumbo looks like. Be like, no, it's fucking
like mud.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
No, Megan, Megan's got that Lafayette Lafayette in her. That's
yeah. Oh, yeah, I
kind
love
of West
Megan.
Cajun. Bro,
Boudin.
you ever had chicken crackling?
So if you're talking about just fried chicken skins, if that's what you're talking about.
Which I guess is what it is, yeah.
So one of the things that broke my wife's heart is we did go to Bodega yesterday again in Chicago, and they do the crispy chicken skins.
Yeah.
Just on the side with like a Bodega hot sauce.
I like it better than the pig crackling.
Or the fucking hoisin, because it's like one of those fusion places. It's Bodega, and they do, and they were out of them when we went there.
No.
Yeah, and she hadn't been that disappointed since last time I revealed myself to her. Yeah. So it's one of those things where I can go, we got to get back down to Louisiana and do the World War II Museum again. If you're a history person, I know you are.
Bro, next time you go, let me know. One of my best friends ever leads all the, she's in charge of all the tours, all the European tours. So any like WW2 history museum connections. Actually, you probably already have them. Whatever. I love that fucking place.
I think it's my favorite. I think it's my favorite museum in the
top 10 museum in the world.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What? Yeah, Sarah. Oh, you met Sarah.
Yeah. So Sarah might have been the person. I wouldn't know her name, but Andy knows
Sarah.
this.
Yeah. She's one of my like literal one of our best friends. Yeah,
please give us our best. Please give her our best because we couldn't get to the whole museum. Again, here's another shout out. The World War II Museum in New Orleans is elite. Yeah. Fucking, you get in there and all of a sudden the anteroom to it is like Tom Hanks doing a Band of Brothers type fucking introduction to it, which gets you in. I didn't get to the part, we didn't do enough of the Pacific Rim part of it. Sort of like Bands of Brothers, we liked more than the Pacific.
Well, in the Pacific, they just, I want to say in the last couple of years, they've really juiced up the Eastern Front stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like they have a whole, I think it's, I can't remember the name of, there's some, it's like Pat the, something, I can't remember. But yes, but that has gotten much deeper and better as well.
And I think, when people all of a sudden say New York's the best food town in the United States, and the only reason that's true is because New York's very small. It's 50 pounds of shit in a 12-pound bag, right? But Queens, Brooklyn, all that stuff has everything that you want. New Orleans is just fucking different, man. I think that it's something that people won't get to experience in any other part of the country. So if you tell me I need to go to someplace because it has the best Thai, I don't know if that's true. I don't know how much better LA Thai is than New York Thai. I don't know if the Portuguese food that you get in Fall River is better than the Portuguese food you get in Little Portugal here in Chicago. I don't know. I do know that you can't have Cajun food as good as the Cajun food that you get down in Louisiana anywhere else in the fucking world.
No,
is that fair to say?
No, it's pretty fair. I mean, even it was funny. My old man came in town a couple weeks back and he wanted to go check out this place by where he was staying called like Cajun Boil. And I mean, it was like, it was some fun boiled seafood, but it was, like the gumbo was like very thick, kind of like a stew, more than actual gumbo. So I agree with that. I think the thing about New Orleans that is different from what you think of as major cities is it's really not a major city. There's 500,000 people.
I didn't know it was that small.
It's barely over 1 million, if over 1 million in the entire metro area. It's smaller today than it was in the 60s. So it's like, it's not it's just not a big city.
No.
It is like incredibly small. Like the city of Atlanta has more people than the entire state of Louisiana. I think Louisiana is like 4 million residents.
Really?
5 million. It's very tiny.
Okay.
So it is, so I don't know how that translates to the experience, but I think that is like one of the major because I think it gets thought about like maybe not size, but like
Miami,
Miami, New York, LA, whatever. Like, and it's way significantly smaller than that.
Yeah, and it's also very fucking dangerous because I walk around drunk at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
You gotta know where you're going.
Yeah, you do have to really keep your head on a.
I mean, which is going to be any city, but like, you don't want to be fucking. I guess maybe some of the difference is you could go like 1 or 2 blocks the wrong direction, and then you're in a bit of trouble.
And I mean dangerous because you have to get overserved while you're there. You put yourself in a situation where you're not going to make good decisions, and that's why you wind up spending a night in a fucking paddy wagon because you pissed on a street corner somewhere in fucking Bourbon Street.
God,
like, you know what I mean?
The amount of fucked up places that I've taken pisses at Mardi Gras is insane.
I will tell you with that, if you go to New Orleans, don't go for Mardi Gras the first time, or go for Mardi Gras and then make sure you come back and see the city.
I mean, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras is worth seeing on its own for what it is. And ideally try to weasel your way into like a ball or something, which is going to be hard, I guess, outside looking in. But like, those are the most fun things.
So I'm going to take Reverend Phillip at some point. I think I should go alligator hunting.
Yep.
I think I should.
I've never been alligator hunting. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and I want to do I didn't know there was a Boudin Trail, but I'll do the fucking Boudin Trail.
I wonder what the Boudin Trail is. I mean, I guess like Scott is known for, you got Billy's over there in Krotz Springs, Best Stop in Scott. I know is a big one. I wonder, I guess the trail probably just goes all through.
You know who I'm in love with?
Louisiana.
I shouldn't say I'm in love with because then it's all of a sudden a gay thing. You know who I enjoy immensely? That fucking Red Beans guy.
That's my fucking boy, Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mail. We had him on every Monday on my radio show. That's, I mean, again, it's
Can
funny.
I get him on this?
Yeah, easily. He would love this, bro. I could put you on touch tomorrow.
I think today, that guy is so fucking laid
so
back.
Genuine, bro.
And he does. So for people who don't already follow him, his following is much bigger than mine. So you probably know him. Hold the Mayo is normally, I think that's his handle.
Yeah.
And he does a red beans and rice every Monday. He's typically then complaining about the Saints, but he goes to like these places like way out, like goes to these small, if it was in Kentucky, I'd say he was out in the hollers, but he's out in the parishes in New Orleans, and he just picks up these places that does red beans and rice, normally with some sort of protein. Now my mouth is watering because he showed me a fried pork chop the other day, man.
Some of them look so fucking good, dude.
And they're 6 minutes. So whenever I see him pop up on my timeline, I get comfortable.
Well, and he's a fascinating guy, I think, in multiple different ways. He is an extreme man of principle.
Yeah.
Where now, you know, he's starting to catch on. He's got some sponsorships. He sells t-shirts, but he's turned down a ton of shit because, like, you will not find a more genuine man in this business when it comes to he is going to stick by his guns even at cost to himself. And he it's kind of funny because, again, it's such a weird how all this works. Is like back in the day, I met Mincy buying drugs for Mardi Gras, and next thing I know, I'm like, bro, your voice is insane. You got to be my gambling radio guy. He comes on, and then he ends up going to Barstool. Then I saw this hot girl on Twitter one day handing out pics, and she like had some juice, following those starting to grow. That was mega. I was like, you got to be our gambling girl. She did that for a while. She runs on to Barstool, and then one day, we're just like watching a video. I think. What's his name? The Phil Sims, Chris Sims had a video talking shit about Drew Brees. And there's this kid and he's smoking a cigarette and he's like, I won't even throw bread at the ducks with you, talking about Chris Sims, like, fuck you.
Right.
You motherfucker. And that was Devin. And then so we started having, we had him on the show name? That day. Devin Snow.
Devin Snow, okay.
AKA Hold the Mayo. But like, So that was Mayo.
Throw bread at the ducks.
Yeah, which is a great line.
It's fucking great.
And so the next day, me and my co-host Jordy Claw at the time, we had Dev on, and he was selling cars at the time. And then he was like, fuck it, I want to try to do this media thing. And so he quit his job, started fucking grinding, writing blogs. And he just got better and better and better. And now he's blowing up and he's kicking ass and he's a fucking man.
If you show your tits online, God bless you. And I hope you continue to make money. But when I see what OnlyFans girls are making, I would wish that type of success on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he doesn't have a good set of tits, so he can't do that. But I'm really hoping that he blows up even more.
Well, he too, like what I love too is he is true New Orleans, like Ronnie from the Parish. Like, it's an accent that almost sounds like New York to a lot of people, but it's not. This motherfucker, right? It's like, that's real New Orleans. When you see Dev and you see the people he's interacting with and the people in Metairie that are like, you know, getting the po' boy on Monday afternoon, like that's actual New Orleans residents.
And here's a confession I've never told anybody. I made red beans and rice. I got a ham hock. I had ordered, I think, the Carmelita? Whatever the hell they are. Beans. But Camila, yeah. Beans. So I did the whole thing. I think I tagged him in a picture of it. And in retrospect, it didn't have that deep.
Did he shit on it?
He didn't shit on it. He was very nice.
Okay.
Just not mentioning anything. Yeah. Because in retrospect now, so many years later, I see how, to your point, he's like kind of true to the cuisine. So it would be like a Japanese guy watching me and you put eel sauce on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was nice for him to take it easy on me because he could have been like, you posing son of a bitch. Meanwhile, I was born in Bronx, raised in Brooklyn. I don't know a lot about fucking Southern red beans. I tried. I should have never put that on Twitter. I think I deleted it.
And I guess what it comes from, and this is something that I didn't even realize because I grew up in Georgia. So I like love Louisiana. All my family's from there. I lived there forever, but I'm still again, I'm not real New Orleans. Like
Right.
I'm not like Dev. And I guess public schools, Mondays, red beans and rice was always the
I know
meal.
that now because of him. Yeah.
So that's why it's a tradition. That's what it says.
Then he does the bathroom
Respect
one
your
too.
body.
Respect
straight.
your body.
He does
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bathroom reviews that video.
Yeah.
No, I'll put you and Dev immediately.
Yeah, I got to have him out here for
And
that.
next time you go to New Orleans, you go check out Spread Quarters.
Where are
It's a
you
good
right
setup.
now as far as if you had to say scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a soft guy, 10 being a hard guy, just in general? I'm not going to give you any more particulars. Are you more hard or soft? Personally, professionally, spiritually, sexually, are you more hard or soft in general? It's a new question I'm trying out.
Okay, so this is how I would
Answer it however you want.
And I'm gonna maybe some people would accuse me of fence sitting, but I think some will resonate with this. I feel generally more soft, but I think I'm better at being hard when I need to.
Excellent. Let's
Than
take it
when
to
I was
food.
younger.
Taco shells. You soft taco shell or hard taco shell?
Soft.
You're a soft taco shell.
Yeah.
Ice
I think
cream,
a corn tortilla is the ideal, but they're also easier to fuck up, where a flour tortilla is like always just going to be like.
Yeah, it's right down the middle.
Yeah.
It's white bread. Soft serve ice cream or scoop hard ice cream?
Scoop hard.
Okay, so you're hard and soft, 1 and 1. Pretzels. Hard pretzels or soft pretzels?
Soft pretzels.
Soft pretzels, 2 to 1 soft. Bacon. Crispy or not as crispy? There's no such thing as soft bacon because that's under, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Some people
no,
like
I
it
know.
done
I'm
to a point.
trying to be real honest here. I think I would actually prefer it thicker and slightly softer bacon.
Not a lot of people say that. And I'm a softer bacon guy too. Not a lot of people say it. It's so easy to say. I love crispy bacon. All right, 3 to 1 soft. Mashed potatoes versus French fries.
Oh, fuck. Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, soft. How about bread? Would you like a crusty loaf of Italian bread, or would you like a softer loaf of like what you make your po' boys on? Po' boys have like a natural softness to that bread, wherever the hell they get it
the
from.
Leidenheimer French bread is what's up. Even though my grandpa taught me an old trick that I still love is if the French loaf goes bad and stale, you just dip it in milk.
Really?
Yeah, it's great. Soften it up a little bit.
Is he still with us?
No, he's not.
Rest in
That's
peace.
my namesake, Bobby Hebert Sr. Actually died of COVID.
Yeah.
One of the first. Fucking terrible,
Oh,
dude.
sorry to
Fuck
hear
that
that.
shit. But yeah, he was the man.
Brought the podcast down a little bit.
Bobby Hebert Sr., dude.
Yeah.
My son's the 4th, quad Bob.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I guess, like I said, mainly soft.
Mainly soft cheese. You rather like a soft, fresh
soft cheese.
mozzarella or
Fucking soft cheese,
Yeah,
bro.
so you're 5 to 1, 6
I
to 1
would
soft.
love
You're a softie.
nothing. I would love nothing. And I am a softie. I cry all the time. I'm a little bitch. I would love nothing more because I've never had it than to get some real fresh mozzarella.
Are you fucking kidding me? So that's
my
our
fucking
thing.
dream.
So
I know.
We have friends, they're the Martiranos. And Annie
Sounds like I would trust their mozzarella.
and Annie's nodding, right? I'm not looking at you, way, but Jimmy Martirano and his brother Pete, and then his dad, Mr. Martirano, who's an older school guy. I believe he's still. Oh, he had passed away. They were the fucking best. Their kid played football with my kid. And so one day we were talking. So Martirano is a real paisan. These guys were real fucking Gindaloon zipperheads.
Anything that ends in a vowel, you're
Yes.
like, okay, I trust that.
So we were talking on the sidelines, and I live in a town called Ridgewood, New Jersey. They didn't get along. They didn't match up with a lot of the parents. Everybody in Ridgewood, New Jersey came over on the Mayflower. Nobody's ever eaten a sandwich without the fucking crust cut off. Jimmy and those guys were real Italians. So I gravitated towards them, and we became friends. So they were like, oh, we're going to be doing fresh mozzarella this week. I was like, I'd love to fucking do a nice fresh mozzarella with you guys. They were like, cool. I was like, why don't you come over to my house? I'll cook. All you guys do is bring the curd. They get the curd from Corrado's. Shout out Corrado's. I was like, I have everything. I'm going to roast a pork shoulder. I'm going to get a shitload of, and I'm going to make like a chimney with it. I'm going to have a shitload of prosciutto, bunch of pickled vegetables, a ton of, like crusty bread and more red wine. And you could drown Paul Sorvino what I'm going to have there. We had this big professional kitchen at the time. We've downsized since then, just so the kids don't have any place to come back to. And they came over, just bring the curd. And they brought the curd. They brought their own pots. They brought the fucking spoons. They brought prosciutto. They brought pickled vegetables. They brought bread. They brought everything that I had because they're Italian. big jugs of wine. We sat down. We started pulling fresh mozzarella. I'm telling you, it's sexual because as you're pulling this, the curd starts to have these tumors in it, these lumps that are disturbing. As they smooth out, you almost want to just rub your face on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the back of a woman's
velvet.
thigh. Yeah. And when it comes out of that water that's at perfect temperature, like too hot for your hands until you get used to it, warm, salted, fresh mozzarella
oh my God.
is singular, right, Annie? It's singular. We woke up the next morning. We had so much cheese, bread, and meats left over. And I think you would, if you lived in my neighborhood, you would have been on this list. I made 8 full Italian bread heroes of either prosciutto, capicola, gabagool, supersad, fresh mozzarella, something else on it. Pork shoulder, chimney, fresh mozzarella. I made 8 of them. I got on my Vespa. We drive Vespas, my wife and I. I buzzed around to 8 buddies in town, and I knocked on their door at fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday.
Right there.
And I'm like, hey, here you go. They're like, what is it? I was like, please don't ask me any questions. And then I go to the next one. And I think that if someone was to do that for me, I would never stop kissing them on the mouth.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying?
That's incredible. Yeah. What a treat.
I'm not saying that I want you over and I'll bring the Martiranos over, but I can get you a fresh mozzarella experience that would knock your fucking eye out.
That's like a bucket list item for me. So I would love that.
It's the fucking best. Huh?
Didn't we bump into Pete at Pitbull?
Yeah, we bumped into Pete at a Pitbull concert. Yeah. And I mean, I'm telling you, we were up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Their dad, who, like I said, is no longer with us, was there. It was absolutely wonderful. There's a college coach. I'm gonna do a couple of stories. You cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. There's a college coach. I don't know where the hell. I'm gonna have to find out where he's from, or else you're gonna kill me, right? Mackenzie, you need to come through.
Oh no, sorry, I'm just
no problem. I appreciate your help. Guy is from Wake Forest. Wake Forest head coach soaks his burgers in Sprite before grilling. So he marinates his raw cheeseburgers in Sprite before grilling. And somebody had explained that he said soaking burger patties in Sprite is a technique used to tenderize and flavor the meat. The acidity of the soda helps break down tough muscle fibers, while the sugar content contributes to caramelization during grilling, resulting in a juicy and flavorful burger. I have a real fucking problem with this because it's chopped meat. Like, there is nothing to break down. There is no, like, you know what broke it down? The chopping broke it down, right? You know what I'm saying?
You made it into ground beef.
And I think like what he's doing is essentially just adding sugar, not salt, to his fucking burger.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose, would you rather the burger from the Wake Forest head coach who was soaked in Sprite before grilling, or somebody that serves a cheeseburger, but their preferred topping for people who eat cheeseburgers with them is applesauce? That's a weird question to ask.
I mean, either way,
you had to choose, though, gun to your head.
Yeah, either way, you're adding sweetness to a rather savory affair, which I don't hate. I mean, I like that. Mm-hmm. I don't like applesauce, though, to be honest, bro.
I'm glad you said it because the applesauce is P. Diddy. P. Diddy prefers his burgers with applesauce.
Oh, thank God.
So I didn't know whether it's, so he would go with the head coach of it.
With the Sprite.
All right. So that was one of those loaded questions where I was going to say for you. Something that I'd mentioned this to Annie this weekend. I want to know if you agree with it. Somebody had said something that I thought was as profound as I've ever read. Like when you say, hey, T-Bob, we're going to go out. What are you up for tonight? You'd be like, I'm up for anything.
Yeah.
Up for anything. T-Bob, we're going out tonight. What do you think? You'd be like, oh, I'm down for anything. The difference between up and down. Like you're up for anything or you're down for anything. This guy explained to me that when you're up for anything, it's something that you're really not looking forward to. But when you're down for something, it's you're looking to get into the fucking weeds.
I mean, when you're down, yeah.
Like
I mean, I don't actually ever think that I say that I'm up for anything.
You say you're down.
I'm down.
Like let's say the wife's like, hey, listen, there's a new salad place that opened up in town.
Let's do it.
I would say, yeah, I'm up for whatever the fuck you want. But if you were like, let's go and do the Boudin Trail, I'm like, I'm down to fucking cook some alligator. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's something, but that struck me as profound.
I do find myself maybe as more of an upper guy than a downer guy.
Right.
I guess I love alcohol, though. It's a downer.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I always say I'm down.
Okay. Favorite chain restaurant from your youth?
So
I didn't give you this question.
This is great. I used to get I grew up in Georgia, but I loved Louisiana so much.
When did you go to Louisiana from Georgia?
When I was 4. My old man left the Saints, went to the Falcons. But so every birthday, there was one Popeyes that was like 30 minutes away.
I'm glad you said that.
And so I would make my parents drive to, that would be my birthday meal every year of my life. Was,
Willie Colon
Popeyes.
was the first person to tell me that Popeyes is different in Louisiana. Or just in the South in general.
Yeah, it's the best.
And there's something that they do different that can't be replicated up north. It's like having Guinness in Ireland. That's what people say. Is it untrue?
No, I mean, I could see that being true, but I should also say this about Popeyes, and this comes from a place of love, guys.
Yes.
Popeyes is a lot like real life, where it's going to teach you that, look, this shit's not always going to be easy. It's not going to be what you expect. Like it's a grab bag. You may not get what you ordered.
Right.
You may get something that's fucking undercooked to the point of maybe being potentially dangerous.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But when it is right.
Yeah.
Like, and you know the chicken sandwich wars of a couple of years ago?
Yes, I do.
When the Popeyes chicken sandwich is right, no one comes close.
Right.
It's got the big old fucking pickles, those thick pickles, the brioche. I think it's a brioche bun. Either way, the point is about Popeyes, like when it's right, it's fucking mind blowing. But yeah, you know, you might drive up and they'll be like, nah, we're not serving you today. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that shit right now. Like, okay.
On sure. Saints weekends, like on Sundays, I think more so than on college weekends, you can't get Popeyes, right? Like they sell the fuck out.
Yeah, they gotta be. I mean, they gotta be just
huge
hammered, catering, everything. I mean, and also, I mean, look at Al Copeland.
Yeah.
Fucking founder, bro. Yeah. You want to talk about somebody that looks like he just lived in cocaine. Yeah. Fucking legend.
I like Stu Feiner. I need you to put 5 toppings on a pizza without ruining it. Not 6, and I think 4 is too little. But it's just a traditional slice of pizza. And you know what happens when you put on way too much stuff? Pizza turns into just a floppy piece of shit. Is there one that you can give me a balance of 5 toppings that you think I would eat without ruining it?
I would go, I mean, I'm definitely going to have pepperoni on there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have some peppers on there. Some like green peppers.
Green peppers.
I want to have honey drizzle.
Okay.
On there.
Mike's Hot.
Yeah, any kind. You get any kind of honey drizzle. Yeah, Mike's Hot is good, actually. Sure.
Like a sweet heat.
I think I'm going to throw corn on there. Because again, I'm gonna stop some of the floppiness here by lighter toppings there, and then I'm thinking for my 5th. It's also, I ate a pizza that I deeply loved when I was living in New Orleans. That was a lot of these ingredients.
Right.
Honey and corn were some main ones, and then it was onions.
Okay.
So I would probably throw onions on there. So I may want to substitute the pepperoni for a sausage now that I've said it out loud.
That's what I do. I'm more of a and sometimes you get the pepperoni that cups and you have the pork grease.
I do like those.
I love those fucking shots of that shit.
I love a fucking little pork grease cup.
I will say put a pin in the fact that you're the first person to answer corn as a pizza topping. And I can tell you I've been spinning around this mortal coil for over a half a century. I've never seen corn on pizza, and I'm glad to see it. I would try it in a fucking heartbeat. I'm extremely skeptical, which I can say out loud, but I am DTF. I'm DTC with that. I can go eat the shit out of it.
No, it was
down to corn.
Yeah, down to corn. There's a place, G's Pizza, and the G's Pizza, which is like a local place that we could walk to. So we used to go there all the time. You could bring your own bottles of wine. But yeah, I want to say it might have been chicken, a honey drizzle, corn, onions, and it just created a sweet and savory explosion. Now, but I got to be clear with my pizza. Like, I don't know if I would do anything with 5 toppings. I grew up loving meat lovers, all that, but like nowadays, my older age, I find that I like simple foods done best, especially if I'm trying a new place. I'm going to pizza place for the first time. I want a slice of pepperoni. See how you do the fundamentals. I'm going to ice cream shop. I just want vanilla. And how do you do the fundamentals? And then we can kind of we can see what you can do from there.
I'm right in line with you. I very rarely go off the base flavors, particularly at an ice cream shop. I'm a chocolate guy and a vanilla guy. Ice cream shop, yeah. Pizzas, I'll try a little bit something different. What's that? Yeah, so I'm a vanilla type guy. I'm a vanilla shake
great
guy.
Vanilla bean. Vanilla shake.
Yeah. I'm team vanilla.
But again, like the Japanese, like you can bring vanilla to a level that is just like, what the fuck? This is so simple,
correct,
but this is amazing.
Yeah.
Something else, like fried ice cream.
Annie, you are not fucking mic'd up. I don't know why you
Fried
can all of a
ice
sudden you
cream.
can come in here and start talking fried ice cream.
Fried ice cream
You're just
sounds
fucking
great.
willy-nilly over there.
I've never
but,
had fried ice cream.
You've never had fried ice cream?
No,
Oh, wow. You haven't fucking lived. We just did a review of the cereal milk ice cream at the Milk Bar in New York City. So what they do is they take the best part of cereal, the sweet milk that you have in the bowl afterwards, and they run it through an ice cream machine. And so it's just cereal milk ice cream. And then when they serve it to you, they roll it through crushed
So
cornflakes.
did it come out gimmicky or delicious?
I'm telling you right now. So it's one of the I don't know. It's an iconic dish of New York. It's been around. I don't remember the woman who'd come up with it, but it was in a lot of Momofuku restaurants for a while. And one of the ones we used to go to quite a bit called Ma Pesh would have a milk bar upstairs. So you'd be able to go upstairs, get a slice of crack pie. It's called crack pie, which was close to like the chess pie that you have down south.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like kind of shoe fly, like just all sticky sweet. And you'd be able to get cereal milk ice cream on top of it.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, it was something else. I would never do 5 toppings on a pizza. That's why I think that it's one of those things that it's almost a contest. You know what I mean? To see if somebody could do it. And I asked that question just to see if somebody will eventually bring up corn. So now that you did it, I'm fucking retired. How do you take your eggs?
I do. My kids love my scrambled eggs, and I will say this. It sounds dumb because people think that you can't make scrambled eggs great.
Yes,
but there is a massive scale. Like the ways that you can elevate scrambled eggs are unending.
Oh yeah.
So the ones that eat the most are scrambled eggs. If I just get my choice, over easy. My grandma used to call them dipping the bread eggs.
Oh, I like that. Dipping the bread eggs.
Yeah, because you dip the bread in the oven. Dude, my favorite restaurant in Baton Rouge, Simple Joe's, used to go there every single Saturday morning for breakfast. On the weekend, they serve biscuits and gravy. It's the only time. Fuck, man, that biscuits and gravy with an over easy egg on top, hot sauce all over it. Oh my God, that is one of the best bites of food.
Bojangles does their breakfast wrap. I had mentioned this to Kadek, and he got visibly hard that they do a breakfast burrito. Breakfast burritos don't turn me on as much as they used to, just because I've had so many. But theirs are egg, sausage, hash brown in a breakfast burrito, which nothing groundbreaking, cheese, and then sausage gravy. Yes. So they put the sausage gravy inside the breakfast burrito. To me, that's worthy of an erection.
It's funny too. I didn't grow up on sausage gravy. I actually did not. Even I'm from the South. No, even in the South. Like okay. It was like a friend's parent made it for me. It was never in my family because it's not a very Louisiana thing necessarily, or maybe it was, but not in my family. I don't know.
It's definitely a Southern thing. I don't know.
It's definitely Louisiana. A Southern thing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, but like, or freshman year of high school, one of my friends' moms made it, and I was like,
scrambled eggs. Do your kids take scrambled eggs dry, or do they take them kind of custody?
No, I know my eggs are not dry.
Okay.
My eggs are not dry.
Because mine, I do take them off the heat. I do that bullshit Gordon Ramsay. I'm not a huge fan of Gordon Ramsay, but I do that thing where I keep taking off the heat, constly moving. So my scrambled eggs are like a custard.
That's the key. Yes. You just constantly move them.
So you get those smaller curds, and it's almost like eating grits.
You're talking about like, now, if I take the time to like, I've always thought of that as French style because my sister had a French girlfriend that taught our family that. But yes, if you're going like full low and slow, like you said, where you get that like grits, it almost feels like it has cheese in it.
Yes.
Even though it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the best. But with kids, I go with a more American style. Like it's it's not much over low heat.
Right.
But it'll be more kind of sheets, maybe.
Okay.
Is
a little more.
But keep it moving constantly.
Right. Yeah, mine is definitely.
And don't overcook it. And remember, the eggs are going to finish cooking once you take them off.
Damn right it are.
So don't overcook it.
This will come to
That's
our third.
all food, I guess.
Our third and final letter with a 5-star review is from a gentleman named Matt Gillette. And Matt had said, when you bring up the how do you take your eggs question, can you talk about my famous leftover lobster and American cheese omelet and how you make it?
Oh my God.
And the thing is, somebody had asked me on various things. He must be a listener from maybe way back because I mentioned this a couple of times. I'm not a huge lobster guy. I don't not enjoy lobster. I think it's wonderful. But I just don't order it that much, even if I'm in a place where, unless it's a place that's a seafood place or something, or if we go Spanish, we go to like El Cid's or something like that, we get some lobsters. And inevitably, it's one of those things where you have some left over. I never stuff myself on lobster. Instead, can I bring that home? And I don't say that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat until I'm full. I eat until I hate myself. So I don't really know if I want to bring a lot of that stuff home. Like, hey, you want the last half of this gigantic family-sized portion penne vodka? I'm like, I got to be honest with you. I'm fucking done because I ate 3/4 of it. Lobster is the exact opposite because the next day Usually tail meat's the one that's left over, but I can do it with claw meat as well. I get some butter going in a pan over very low heat, and I kind of bring the lobster back up to temperature inside this butter. So I'm poaching it in butter.
Yeah.
Take that out, some of the butter out, and that's how I make my omelet. My omelet is with eggs, that butter poached lobster, and it's got to be Kraft singles. And I'm a cheese snob, but the way that a Kraft single or any of the processed, anything that can't use the word cheese, like that, cheese product, any of those Velveeta-ish type thing, I'm not being a snob as far as that's concerned. That has a meltability for a lobster omelet that I've never seen anywhere else. Oh. When it comes out, sour cream, creme fraiche, if you have it, and I snip some chives because I'm a little bit of a fancy pants. And I'm telling you, the leftover lobster omelet that I do is better than the lobster meal that I had the night before.
That sounds
10 times out of 10.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, 10 times out of 10. So that's me answering the third question today, and that one was from Maddie Gillette. All right, we did hard and soft. If you have to give a goodie bag to a one-night stand on her way out in the morning, what would be in it? So somebody just had, we're not married now, you and I just go home and we turn two ladies out. Or we do the best that we can. They're leaving the next morning. There was a guy who would leave them a Ziploc bag that had a blunt, a nugget in it, $20, a prison sandwich like bologna and cheese, and like a Lipton iced tea. That's what he would give them. I think Derek Jeter used to give them Rolexes on the way out.
The NDA, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Jeter would have an NDA with all kind of lavish gifts.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, all right, I'll play the girl in this one. I just get turned out by T-Bob Hebert. Fingers crossed. I'm leaving now, and you're like, hey, sweetheart, there's a shoebox behind the door. Grab yourself one on the way out and forget my number. What's in that fucking bag?
Yeah, this is a great question.
I don't know why I make it so disrespectful. I don't mean to make it disrespectful.
I've had sex with one woman in my entire life. No, I'm giving you the Lord of the Rings extended edition box.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, what else would I give you? Right? I gave you pleasure. Now I'm helping you grow your mind. So you can go home, and after our 3 minutes, you can go watch 13 hours straight of Lord of the Rings. But yeah, specifically extended editions, and ideally the box sets that come with the excellent 8 to 10 hours of extras for each movie is called the appendices.
And they're beautiful too. They're very ornate.
They're wonderful box sets too. It might get expensive, but I'm not getting laid that much. So it's okay. No. It'll be a special occasion. Yeah,
you buy 2 or 3 and you hope you need to buy 4, exactly. But you're probably good with 2 or 3.
I'll probably be good there.
Favorite beverage, hot or cold? Not one that you don't have to have for the rest of your life. A lot of times people ask that question. What's one drink you can have for the rest of your life?
Well, I mean, I'm addicted to coffee, so I'm not going to count that because
Yeah, but what happens if coffee is no longer available for the rest of the time? Would that make you the most mad? What is that? That, I think, is the question.
I need the drug effect of coffee. Okay. I like when it tastes good, but I'll take it however I can. I need the fucking speed. That's what I want. My favorite drink, hot or cold? I don't know if I think I love anything more in my heart than just a perfect, well-made margarita.
Okay. Margaritas have an excellent answer. What is for you, and I gave you this beforehand, what for you is the Tim Duncan of foods?
A delicious cold cut sandwich. And every day when I get home, I make, because I do the intermittent fasting. When I was in my rhythm or whatever, second I would get home from school, I would make a sandwich.
Really?
Just fucking love a sandwich.
Simple ham and cheese?
Simple, a lot of times, turkey, cheese, mayo, lettuce. That's simple. Good ingredients with it. But so butter lettuce, I like butter lettuce the best. I'm going to, choose that. Ideally, I'd have some freshly sliced American cheese, and then I go with any meat, ham, turkey, doesn't matter.
Right, and it's never on the brochure, but it's always there for you, and it always hits.
Always, every single time it fucking hits. And then you can throw, if you have leftover Chick-fil-A sauce, I could say, fuck it, I'll dip it in the Chick-fil-A sauce. Right. I'll fucking put the Japanese barbecue sauce on it, whatever. Like if you got some pesto, whatever. Sandwich is the best thing in the world.
What is the most overrated food that you think people pretend to like?
I think it's funny. You mentioned lobster. I haven't had a ton of lobster, so I don't know that I can answer that. I do think it's funny how lobster was always traditionally a poor man's food.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, we just through marketing or something, just tricked ourselves into thinking that it's a rich man's delicacy.
I could tell you, if that's your answer, that's a pretty good answer. Because sometimes I think that people just eat it. Same thing with caviar. I happen to enjoy the taste of caviar a lot.
I've only had caviar once, and I thought it was good, but it wasn't on my dime, so I didn't care. I never sought it out.
Where did you have it?
I was at So this is kind of funny. This is gonna be. I'll just be a name dropping
Please.
dickhead. So my old prom date from high school is Heather McMahon, and now she has gone on to be like a massive star. And she's a comedian, and so she did a show in Baton Rouge, and we were hanging out after the show in her room, and they had caviar with Zapp's potato chips, and then some creme fraiche, and it was actually pretty fucking tasty.
It must be.
I don't know if I would pay the money for the caviar with that situation, but it fucking tasted good.
See, so now that makes me happy. Because I have so many people who come on and say, I don't like caviar. And I'm like, where'd you have it? They're like, I had it at a wedding. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have it at like one of these places that's mass producing it or something, but if you have it in like a more intimate setting with something intimate, like something interesting as the accoutrement, like fucking having a Zapp's Cajun crawtator or something, right?
Yes,
like,
it's exactly what it was. Zapp's Cajun crawtator with
voodoo chips too. So I fell in love with Zapp's, and the only thing is you turn it over on the way in so the fish hits your mouth a little bit more than like the chip, because that can be overwhelming. But I'll keep lobster as your answer because
I think that's probably my answer.
Mine, it's grape jerky. I don't like raisins. I don't know why fucking people pretend to like them. I don't think they bring anything to the party. Get rid of fucking raisins.
What grape jerky is. Oh, raisins. You're calling them grape jerky. Oh, fuck.
What do you wish you enjoyed but you can't stomach it? Is there something out there where you watch me eating something like, large man, that thing looks delicious. I've had it before. It's not good.
No, I mean, my taste buds are always changing. I think I'm trying to think about something that I've tried. I keep trying eggplant, and I still don't like eggplant.
Can't get an eggplant to a point where you like it.
But like pickles, I didn't like pickles for years now. I love pickles.
Really?
So like every now and then it changes and something else just clicks into place. Cucumbers have clicked into place as well recently. But yeah, I still don't like eggplant.
My wife makes very good eggplant parm.
Fucking mushrooms.
Mushrooms, okay. That's a popular one too.
I love psychedelic mushrooms. I love the flavor of mushrooms. I think it's a texture thing. I do not like a mushroom alone, like at all. And I always try it because I'm like, you're an adult. Like, why the fuck don't you like mushrooms? And I still don't like them. I hate it.
I prefer a raw mushroom over a cooked mushroom.
See, no, I would. I don't think I'd
do a raw
mushroom. I would try it.
Yeah,
I'm never not trying stuff, but every time I try it again, I'm like, I still don't like it.
What meal would you be embarrassed to let people know that you eat regularly? Like I put mayonnaise on aspirin. Like what would you say would kind of get you?
I am probably guilty of.
A lot of times the answer to this is the same answer to what's your fat meal. Like some people are like, I can't eat this meal in front of a fucking mirror because it turns me off so much.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't think I'm very self-conscious in those. I guess, I mean, maybe the only thing that I would be embarrassed by is just shoveling shitty food in my mouth. Like last night I made my kid butter noodles, right? I made the kids butter noodles.
They love it.
And everything. It's great. It's good or whatever. But like, it's not good. But instead of making myself a dinner, I just poured that Japanese umami barbecue sauce all over these shittily cooked butter noodles that I made in like 5 minutes and just ate that. Or like eating my kids like leftover mac and cheese from the box that I know I shouldn't. It's a fucking awful, it's not even food, but I still just gotta shovel it in.
It's still good. My problem is like sometimes I'll clean the kids' plates and throw it away, and then I'll see something and I'll eat it out of garbage. That's one thing that I think that if people see me eating out of the garbage like a raccoon in the middle of the night.
I don't have a lot of fear of food on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, you don't? Okay. Yeah, there you go. What meal do you wish you can get back?
Like, because I loved it so much.
Well, it's one of those things like I had asked Patty. I use this as an example all the time. Pat McAuliffe was almost like, that's a stupid question. And as he said, he's like, Large, I don't know if I like that. He's like, wait a sec.
I have an immediate answer.
He's like, every Wednesday in my high school, they served chicken nuggets and powdered mashed potatoes. And it was the best fucking thing I could have put in my mouth while I was, in that age. He's like, I don't think I'd even like it anymore. I can't have it because I don't know what the brand is and all that. But for some reason, I know I'll never get that experience back as sitting there with my buddies, shooting the shit and eating those fucking things with a mountain of ketchup. I'll never get that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess in like kind of in the more like that vein would be those old college meals at the end of like a camp day where you've done 2-a-days and then you go in there and you just shovel all the shit on there and none of it's well made or anything, but it all tastes amazing going down. But probably the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. Me and my wife went to Greece for 15 days well before kids, and it's probably the most fun we ever had. But we were on this little island of Milos, and it's so much of this is setting and everything else. But this little island, we're staying in a fishing village, Firapatamos, like in a little Airbnb that's on the water. We have our 4-wheeler, and we hear about this restaurant in Burrio up in the mountains, and so we drive like 2 hours on a 4-wheeler with hand maps, trying to figure out where we're going. And finally we roll up, and it is this giant family farm. And it's a farm to table restaurant on this mountain lake. So you're surrounded by mountains, but then the restaurant's on the water of this beautiful, pristine lake that the water's to the point where it actually laps on your feet as you're eating. And the menu was extremely limited because it's just whatever they had from the farm that day.
Right.
And so it was very simple foods, chicken, French fries, green beans,
right?
Nothing overly fancy, but so fucking good.
Right. And
the
you can't
depth
get
of
that
the
back.
taste,
Yeah.
the freshness, the rakia. I mean, it's the best meal of my life. It is still the best meal of my life. And I will be chasing the Emburio dragon for as long as I live.
That's an excellent answer. And finally, we'll end with death row meal. Know that you have some big shoes to fill because Kadick wouldn't stop. Stu Finer's death row meal started with an 8-ball of cocaine, which isn't the way that most people start big meals, but I don't like to judge.
But I mean, if you're going to die anyway, you might as well do an amount of coke that makes you going to feel like you're going to die.
By the way, I didn't have the heart to tell Mike Kadick that most death rows put a cap on what they'll spend on your meal, anywhere from $40 to $110. I think it's like 40 in some states, 70 in others, and then 110 in other states, because he put together what I think he and I had decided was close to a $1,700 meal. I'm assuming Mike Kadick would be going to the chair for killing somebody. I'm just guessing. I don't think they want to give a cold-blooded killer a $1,700 meal on his way out. Like, also, you know what I mean?
The shit that would exude from his body.
But I will tell you that since I had started the precedent with Mike, I would not hold anybody, I'm asking this question, to a $110
no,
cap.
Look, mine is easy. I think it would be sesame chicken with fried rice, some goons in there as well.
Crab rangoons?
Yep. I want some fried chicken in there, some really good fried chicken, dark meat specifically.
I hear you.
And I would want, ideally, if I could have a beer with it, that'd be great. Maybe I would want a Belgian beer. I'd want like a Chimay Blue,
okay,
or something like that.
Sure.
I'd love to have a root beer with it as well, Barks root beer specifically. And I mean, while we're there, I'm gonna die. I want another cheeseburger.
Okay,
gotta have a great burger.
Gotta have a cheeseburger to send you out.
And then I wanna smoke like 3 cigarettes afterwards.
Just 3 darts.
Yeah,
gives a shit.
Yeah.
How about a dessert? You didn't mention anything sweet.
I don't have the biggest dessert cravings.
Okay.
I'm down for dessert. It's great.
No, I'm not saying you push it away, but it's not one of those things.
But like, if I'm gonna die, I would rather spend it on savory meat and potato shit.
And a couple of cigs.
Yeah.
Right. So sesame chicken, fried rice, a cheeseburger that you threw in. Then you're doing some fried chicken, very John Wayne Gacy of you.
Yeah.
Fried chicken and strawberries, John Wayne Gacy. Then we're doing a couple of heaters. A Chimay. You said you do a Chimay Blue.
Yeah, Chimay Blue.
And then a Barks root beer. That's solid.
I'm just gonna hit
a good way to get the fuck out of here.
Just all my comfort foods.
Would you come back on the show?
Yeah, bro.
It's easy, anytime. Right? It's
awesome,
one of those things where you just kind of sit. Don't you feel that it's just a different fucking atmosphere talking about food than it is talking about anything else?
I love it. And it's actually funny because that original station that I started on when I was in the morning show, the afternoon show, was this legend, rest in peace, Tom Fitzmaurice, who was at the forefront of all this. He, for over 30 years, hosted a daily 3-hour radio show that was only food.
Really?
Only food. Tom Fitzmaurice, fucking legend, dude.
Yeah.
He knew everything about all the restaurants in New Orleans. He knew everything about food, could answer any questions.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, I know. I wish he was still alive so y'all could get together because he was fucking awesome.
All right, so you're going to put me in touch with Red Beans guy?
Yeah, I'll put you in touch
with him. And
then
we'll have you back at some point, particularly if you do something that you think is outstanding. I'm going to try to get into a groove with this where you can just give me an update. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hey, Large, by the way, remember we were talking about lobsters, and Ian can go and revisit what we were saying about lobster. I wound up having the Angry Lobster Filippante on West Side Highway, which doesn't exist anymore. There are a couple of lobster dishes from my past that I would fucking knock your eye out in a second to make sure. Like Filippantes, I wouldn't take the Angry Lobster home because it wouldn't have a shot.
I would love to have my mind expanded in that way. And now I'm in a completely new food culture, so I'm going to be taking a lot of new.
Yeah, and you got a great food journey doing it.
I will say, I maybe a bit of a misstep by me not mentioning one of my favorite bites of food ever, which is, well, there's two. One is, and I always think about foods and bites, like the combination of the flavors, but like if you're at a great crawfish boil and you eat a piece of the garlic and the tail and suck the head all at the same time, that's a perfect bite of food. And then also, I'm just a big shrimp and steak fajitas lover, where, you get my fajita and then, we go with our base of beans as our binding agent, then a little rice, strip of steak, shrimp, whatever the little butter sauce is, little green sauce. It's a little busy, little guac, little pico.
By the way, this is definitely my show, but when people come on here, it's like, I'm not leaving yet. I want to tell you about steak and shrimp fajitas. And I think that that's fucking the best thing in the world.
That's why it's fun.
It really does, because now I feel like telling you about my fucking favorite fajita, and then let's do another 3 out. Like, honestly, like, I think it's easy to come in and not have on it. And even if I bring in the most skinny basic bitch in the world, I think I could still have like a conversation with it, because I mean, we all have it in common, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody loves food. Yeah. All right. So this is T-Bob Hebert. Anything you need to pump? I mean, you just see him all over Barstool as he's finding his way here in the Chicago office. He's in a bunch of the shows and whatnot. So catch him wherever you want to. I'm probably going to ask to collab on a lot of clips that we put out in the upcoming week. And we'll have him back at some point. Give my best to the Cajun Canon. And we'll see you guys next time. Please continue to send in questions, 5-star reviews, all that kind of stuff, because we appreciate it. And we'll get to them all until we answer them all. Talk to you next time on You Gotta Try This.
Later, guys.